we will start the interview now. We are recording it live. We'll start in a bit. So, am I audible clearly?
Yeah.
Welcome, Captain Vinod Sharma. We welcome you from the magazine Power of People, where we have interviewed people with a lot of experience and who have inspired us and motivated us. So we welcome you to the interview where we would like to talk to you about your life story and also things that have inspired you so far and what will be your motivation towards us. So let me first introduce myself. I am Dr. Richa Sharma, and I will be interviewing you on behalf of Power of People magazine. And Captain Vinod Sharma is a esteemed and eminent member of the society. He is ex-army. He has fought in the wars of 69 and 71. He has also done his management degree from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute. He is a very successful businessman, and he leads the small-scale industries unit of this area. And he is also a renowned author of a book based on Gita. So welcome, sir. And I'd like to ask you, how did you start?
Thank you very much. Your words of appreciation and giving the background is so encouraging that from where to start and where to end, it will be difficult. With this enthusiasm, I can only say that when I took little senses to come into the world that I am there, I remember my father took me to a school when I was 2.5 years old. And since that time, I remember that how the primary schools used to be at that time. We have to sit on the mat spread on the ground and sit on that and listen to the teacher with all respect. However, that passed, and when I came to the high school, then also was very encouraging. The total atmosphere was very good, and it gave me little encouragement from the family side also, that they encouraged me to study well and do all the things which require little sort of adventure. Somehow, after graduating from Bareilly College, and that is now Rohilkhand University, I joined Army. And when I joined Army at that time, I was in MSc. I had not completed, but because of the selection in the SSB, I joined Indian Military Academy in Dehradun. And after coming out, I came into the forces. As you mentioned, I fought the wars. It was 62 and 65. And after that, during the course of the army training, I was giving the commando training. I had the experience of how to catch and eat a snake, how to remain behind the enemy lines, and keep dependent on the improvised foods like chewing the leaves or catching the birds and cooking in the open sun and not with the fire flame or something. With all this experience, when I came to the stage of the final war where I was injured, the medical category due to injuries was low. And I was advised to either join NCC or BSF or civil life. Somehow I preferred the civil life to come in, and started with a career which inspired me to start the frozen foods and cold storage. This development was such that it gave me encouragement. I started my own cold storage with 3 chambers, and later on I expanded it. The financial problems which I started with, I had to take support of the advisors and the friends to borrow, and somehow the atmosphere and the work and the business experience gave me opportunity to pay back in time, and it further encouraged I expanded further into other lines.
That's wonderful. Wonderful to know about that. Um, uh, I'd request you to further tell us about the part of getting into small scale industries association part of it, and uh, that side of it, and how did it proceed further from there?
No, you mean to say the association part of it when we came into the business area?
Right.
When I came to the business with the starting of cold storage, I thought of, if the cold storage there, why not approach expanding and progressive companies like Amul to give an opportunity so that I can further do the service and also a mutual beneficial business part of it. And slowly they agreed to. Once that was done, then the story starts after Amul, then Domino's, then Mother Dairy, and all the encouraging things they keep on expanding the business. Somehow, when it comes to summing up at this age, when the active life was to be curtailed because of the age factor, not otherwise, but the direct active approach in the market, I had to come to such things which can be managed from the office easily. That made me a sort of a big hub or a distributor instead of market supplied directly. Now, this gave me an opportunity to meet with the other industries who were facing the other problems like the awareness or the rules and regulations of the government, or sometimes even the plans of the government to help we did not know. So we formed an association of the industrialists, and in the area, about 1,000 members became our members together, and we started doing some things which can create awareness about the rules, regulations, laws, and the schemes which government has started for benefiting us. Today, we have a successful association operating in our area, and also we take interest into the social things like management institutes, where we can take the projects from them and help them in contributing to the students or coming up sector who can learn better. So this way, my circle has increased up to this stage where I can not only keep myself busy, but also give some ideas wherever possible to do start business and how to expand it.
True, sir. Also, I'd like to ask you about another aspect of your personality, that is being an author. So please tell us more about that. What inspired you to write a book? You coming from an army background and then into after your management, then running successful businesses, and then an author. How did that happen?
Wonderful, wonderful. That particular aspect is totally different. After seeing all this, the success in the business or doing the things as I wanted, I felt that if we have to do something at the time of difficulties. The opportunity came when our surroundings were elevated and we came into low-lying area. Result was that our godowns and cold storage, they started getting inundated in the water during monsoon and the high tide. Now, if they're both coincident was there of both together, it was difficult. One of the business of the sugar, I had to lose heavily in that. Now, considering this, when I thought of that, let me totally raise the building again by the height of say about 8 feet, it became such a problem that the finance wise, the total structure which was existing, I had to rebuild. And this was a big responsibility. Somehow at that time, Gita came to my help. When I was reading, one of the chapter was that when you take more responsibilities and you are sincere about it and determined about it, then God gives you a strength to do that. And the same thing happened. Somehow, when I planned that the finance requirement will be very high and the time involved in that will require very active sort of progressing or planning, I did it. And somehow the help came in from all sides. This gave me that there is something which in Gita is, I had read once before, but I was not that serious. Sixth time I read, when it gave me the support for the expansion or doing the rebuilding or re-establishing my business, I felt like leading it thoroughly. The third time I went through it. And that gave me such a satisfaction and a sort of idea that if this total Bhagavad Gita is written, if you read it in a concise and brief manner, it might attract you to go through in a say in 24 or 48 hours or at least 2 3 days, which can give you continuity to go through Gita and understand it. And I consulted all the books, the full chapters, and with the relevance of the events, I brought it to a very brief sort of booklet. And that booklet, if you are determined, you can finish in one sitting of say 8 to 10 hours. Well, it depends how determined you are to go through. But the interest of the people in that gave me little encouragement. And one of the encouragement was from my daughter, who encouraged me to why not publish it, whatever you are writing. And I did it. And she made me proud that it is in a booklet form which you are referring to. Anything further?
Wonderful.